Hi, this is howtofilefordivorce.org, and we're going to go over how to file for divorce in West Virginia. So if you just come to this webpage, we can start this step-by-step guide. And how we're going to get started with step one, you're going to need to get the required West Virginia divorce papers. So you're going to need to either download our blank West Virginia divorce papers in option A, or option B, have the divorce papers filled in for you by a professional service that we work with, but just to let you know, it does cost $299. But anyways, here are your two options. So moving to step two, the spouse that has decided to file for divorce must complete the following forms and be sure to have them notarized. Now, if you don't know what notarized means, it's just someone that's licensed by the state to witness legal documents such as this. And you can find one at every branch bank in the United States. So you probably just want to head over to Bank of America or any bank that you have a checking account. And at the very least, I think if you don't have an account with most banks, they charge a very small fee. And then after you get done that, you're going to need to file these forms with the clerk's office in the county where you reside. So you want to bring a check as well though, and you may want to call the clerk to see what the filing fee is for your county. And if you want to see a list, you can click right on this link and it'll bring you right to the West Virginia government list of all the clerk's offices. So moving along to step three, after you file all these forms, you're going to have to serve your spouse of the filing by sending copies of the filed documents of all these above, as well as these two forms. Now your spouse must complete the above two forms right here and have them sent or hand delivered back to you as soon as possible, because you are going to need to file these with the clerk's office to prove that you served your spouse. Now your spouse should also get this answer form, because your spouse must file this form to the clerk within 20 days or else you cannot file an uncontested divorce. So this is very important, because if this does not happen, then you lose out on this filing fee that you paid for and all this time that you spent filling out these forms. If you have minor children, you have to attach this form as well as a few others to the answer form. So going to step four, now you have to meet with your spouse with copies of your tax returns for the previous 3 years in order to fill out the following forms. So you and your spouse are going to need to fill out these two forms, and this is really the last big step of the divorce, because if you're able to negotiate this marital settlement agreement, which basically divides up all your assets and debts, if you have any property, cars, anything like that, it's all going to get negotiated out in this form. And if you can get through this, the rest of the process is going to be very easy for you. And if you have children, you have to ask the clerk about parental education classes that you and your spouse will need to complete. And even though that sounds very foolish, you do need to go to these classes, because you're going to need to get this certificate that you're going to need to bring to the court hearing. So after waiting at least 20 days from the date you file the forms in step two, you can file these forms above, these two, at the clerk's office and schedule a court hearing date. But before going to the clerk's office, remember a notice of hearing form, so that when you get your hearing date, you can fill it in, and you'll need to get a copy of the filed form sent to your spouse, so that they're obviously notified of the court hearing. So step five, go to your court hearing, and as long as you've gotten through all these steps, it's only going to be about a 15 to 20 minute hearing where the judge is just going to make sure that everything's in place. And once that judge signs the final order for divorce, after 3 days, your divorce will be made official. Now at this point, your divorce is complete in the state of West Virginia. Now, if you're seeking a name change, all you have to do is click on this link right here, and we have a great free guide on how to change your name in the state of West Virginia after divorce. So that's it. That is how you file for divorce in the state of West Virginia.